Let me know once it goes live and I can.
Oh, we've been live for a while now.
Oh, there we go.
Oh no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we're good. So, all right, let's do the intro. Hello, everybody. I know nobody's in the room right now. You know what? I should probably bring up the other window for the actual video. In the meantime, while I'm doing that, hello, everybody. In the future, I guess, watching this. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, of course, Sam with The Blind Life. Thank you very much for watching. Today we are doing a live stream, and this is always hard to do two things at once here, talk and actually click on buttons on my computer. So anyway, I'm doing a live stream today with the wonderful Carrie from Live Accessible, the YouTube channel, also about vision impairment and safe to say, right? Assistive technology is a big thing. So
Assistive
Carrie,
technology. Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Carrie.
Hi, everyone. And yeah, we do assistive technology, just tips in general, whether that's cleaning or anything under the sun, pretty much.
Good. Okay. All right. So now I'm pulling up the video here, and then we will get started here in just a second.
I'm trying to figure out how to mute, because I hear an echo of us.
Yeah, you'll have to turn the player, the actual video player, you'll have to turn the volume down on that.
Yeah. Oh, wow, we have 15 people watching. Hi, everyone.
Do we? Awesome.
Yeah, that's what it says.
16 now.
Okay.
21. Oh, it's growing. They like us, Carrie. They really like us.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
Okay.
Enough playing around here. I'm trying to get my two windows together, so you guys will forgive me for a second here.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to get the volume to.
All right.
Give me one.
No problem.
That did not work. Okay.
Well, while you're doing that, I will go ahead and talk. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like I said, I've got Carrie here. I told Carrie that, you know, I talked to her recently, or sent out the message not too long ago, that asking if she would like to take part in this little live stream with me. And thankfully she agreed, and I really appreciate that, Carrie, for that you agreed to do that. Put you on the spot kind of last minute too.
Yeah, he said, oh, you want to do a live stream? And then I'm like, yeah, sure. But there wasn't any time or anything. And then what was it, on Thursday or Friday? You were like, oh, do you want to do a live stream this weekend? I'm like, why not? It's Sam from The Blind Life. I have to say yes.
Yeah, you gotta be ready to go at a moment's notice. Well, I wanted to do a real quick live stream. I'm actually going out of town next week, and so I'm working on videos that I can schedule for while I'm gone. And so I thought this would be easiest for today's video, is just to do a live stream. And I thought I should try and get a guest. And oh yes, Carrie would be great. So Carrie is relatively new, right? In YouTube, you haven't been doing it too long.
I just started in November 2018.
Okay. And you've already made yourself made a presence, because we see you guys, we see you, and there's a couple others. We see you guys all the time and commenting on videos in the live streams. That's great, being interactive. That's what you need to do.
That's the nice way of saying that Sam noticed that I was being a nuisance in the comments. No, just kidding.
Stalking is what it is, right? No, yeah. I need to be better. Matt from Blind to Billionaire, he comments on all my videos, and I so appreciate that. And I actually put a comment on one of his videos recently. I was like, I watch everybody's videos. I'm just not a big commenter, and I apologize. But please know that I am watching the videos and liking. Exactly. I like your videos as well.
And, you know, I totally understand where you're coming from, Sam, because especially when I first started out, I used to watch everything. I used to comment on everything. I used to like, be on the hunt for more videos and more people. But as your channel grows, and I mean, I only have like 440 subscribers, and you have like 12,000, almost 13,000. Yeah. And I can imagine answering each and every comment and like being able to comment on everybody's things. But we do our best to watch everybody's content and comment when we can.
Yeah, and support everybody. And that's another thing.
Exactly.
Drives me crazy. And I want to this is a perfect opportunity to mention this. I use the app Creator Studio for commenting because it's easier than doing it on my computer, oddly enough. But the problem with Creator Studio is it only shows new comments. So if I respond to someone's comment and then later on they reply to my comment, it doesn't show those. So I'm sure a lot of people reply to me and they're like, hey, he never wrote me back. So I really apologize if that's the case. Mm-hmm. I wish I wish it was different. Or do you know a better way, or how do you respond to
the comments? Only way that I do it is actually with the YT Studio app, which is on your phone. Mm-hmm. And then you can have it set to notifications and I go through those. But even with that, you have to like double tap or select view replies or view all 3 replies to actually get to the new replies.
Yeah. And you have to go back. So it's mm-hmm. like you're constantly looking just to check. I know. Yeah. It's a pain. So that being said, well, thank you very much for being such a, in the short time you've been on here, you put out a lot of good content too.
Oh, thanks, Sam. I just do my best, me and Pablo, well, I'm legally blind, and Pablo, that's my husband, he's totally blind. So I grew up with assistive technology, and he lost his vision like, I don't know, was it 20 years ago? So we've both had a lot of experience. And, I used to work at a center, a low vision center, and share all this kind of information with customers and the patients that we had. And so when I decided to stay home with our son, who is 2 now, and thankfully he's sleeping so that we can do this live stream. So I wanted to continue doing that. And what better way than YouTube?
Yeah, I know. And a lot of people always ask me, why are you on YouTube? It's such a visual medium. And mm-hmm. Your videos are for people who are lacking in that area. Mm-hmm. Put it in a nice way. So why did you decide to get on YouTube?
Well, because they say that YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine. Mm-hmm. And so, how many of us, like when we have a question or need to know how to do something, we either go to Google or go to YouTube. And, they say that why are we on such a visual platform? But, not all of us are totally blind. Some of us can still see videos. And, Pablo, he's totally blind. He still uses YouTube because it has the most content that, that you can listen to even. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's why.
Yeah, that's exactly what I tell people too. And then that, well, it's usually people who still believe that vision impairment, oh, you can either see or you can't see. They don't realize that it's such a large spectrum and that most of us exactly. do have some vision. So, well, real quickly, I do want to mm-hmm. talk about your history with assistive technology, but we should say hello to some people. We've got some familiar people here.
I saw Vincent in there and Juan.
Dark Queen.
And
Which
Kyle.
Yeah, which incidentally, Dark Queen, hopefully that's how it's pronounced. That's how my screen reader always says it. And it was actually a long time before I actually zoomed in and saw that it was spelled that way. It wasn't spelled D-A-R-K. So anyway, just a little thing there I thought was funny.
And everything blind.
Blind Havoc.
Yeah, that's Kyle. He has a really great Facebook page called Blind Awareness, awesome. Where he shares your content and mine and a lot of articles and everything. So,
well, good. Well,
you guys
want
to check that out. Yeah.
I used to have the email name Havoc. That was my favorite comic book character was Havoc.
Oh, really?
Whoever can name the guy's real name, gets a bonus if you can name Havoc's. He's an X-Man, former X-Men. Give me his real name in the chat section. You get a bonus.
Steve Perry?
No.
Oh no, that's the name of the person that commented. Yeah.
Well, good. Well, welcome everybody.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining. So, Carrie, you had mentioned working at a low vision center. How long did you work there? And was it just because of you had your son, you decided to leave, or any other reasons?
Well, I was working, let me think. At the company that I was at, okay, let's start from the beginning. So my family moved down here to North Carolina from New Jersey, and I started working on the manufacturing end of where that company. And from there, I'm trying to remember how long I was working there. And then I started working part-time at the Low Vision Center. And then I got promoted, and I was working part-time in an optical center and part-time in the low vision center. So I was kind of torn between the two. And then finally, the manager, she stole me away completely into the low vision center. And I think I was working there overall for more than 3 years, if that's right. I think that's right, yeah.
All right.
But I mean, ever since I went there, I kind of had my eye. I want to work there. Because, I mean, ever since I was younger, I love to play with technology. My dad is also totally blind. And, I grew up with, what is it called? Like Double Talk, the speech, and JAWS when it first started, and everything. Yeah. So I was familiar with all of that. And what was your other question again?
Well, did you leave just because you had your son?
Well, really, because neither me or Pablo drives, so the transportation and the childcare would have been more than what my salary was worth. And also, I really wanted to stay home with him, and it's not just because he's visually impaired, but because, if I didn't stay home with him, I don't know, I feel like I would have been missing out. I wouldn't have seen him, first walk or help him crawl or all those kind of things. I mean, my dad stayed home with us 3 kids, and my dad, remember, he's totally blind, and me and my sister are visually impaired, and my brother's deaf, and he stayed with us, and my sister stayed with her kids, and I guess I just followed along with the rest of my family.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I was a stay-at-home dad too. I worked in a restaurant, and then it was getting more difficult for me with my vision to continue that. But the real reason I quit was because, as you said, childcare, man. Yeah. I wasn't going to make as much working as childcare was going to take, and it's ridiculous. So my daughter's 13 now, and I was a stay-at-home dad, for years and years and years until she started school. So I think that's great. Does your husband work now, Pablo?
Yeah, he does. He works in human resources in the training and accessibility side of everything.
Awesome. Well, cool. Now, what is, if you don't mind me asking, your vision impairment? I'm sure people are interested in that.
So I have aniridia, which is the underdevelopment of the eye, and the side dishes to those, I like to call them that, is glaucoma and cataracts, and I have microcornea, so my eyes are really small. Everybody always asks me if I was Chinese. No, I'm not. And I also have nystagmus, so that's why my eyes move around a lot. I can't really focus them and move them where I want them to be.
But so this was all stuff you were born with, though?
Yeah, the glaucoma I developed, but it's like it's a normal, or a common part of aniridia.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And hereditary then? So does your sister have the same thing?
Yes, and my dad too.
Okay. Was that not getting too deep or anything, but how was that growing up? People are always interested in that kind of stuff.
What exactly? Like what part?
Going to school, playing around with the kids, things like that?
Oh, well, when it comes to school, let's just not go back.
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, like, you have to remember that I was pretty shy. I mean, now I'm talking to you. I don't know how many people are in this live stream. I've talked to, lots of people, especially working at a low vision center. I've done a few presentations, and I mean, I was a completely different person. But when I was going to high school and middle school, I was like, I'm just gonna hide in the corner. Don't talk to me. I might say hi, and a lot of that, it was personality, I think, and a lot of, I don't know. I was the only blind student there, so there was a lot of, I didn't have too many bullying, but a lot of talking behind your back, or
you're the weird kid, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Same thing. I was the only one in my school, and had to sit in the front of the class, front row.
I always sat in the back. Really? I like to sit in the back because it made no difference. I couldn't see the board any better up front or in the back, so I was like, I'm sitting in the back.
Oh, I didn't get the option. Give me a choice. Sometimes I even had to sit. They would push my desk up to the board. Like my desk was pushed up, touching the board. I know. I'm like, just further segregate me from the rest of the class.
Well, I had a teacher assistant, or what they call the teacher assistant, who like walked with me to classes, or like would be with me, especially in math. And like sometimes I would get really nice ones, and then I got in trouble one time in middle school because I ran away from one of them. Yeah, because I didn't want her to walk with me in the hallway because I was trying to be friends with people. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know how you are when you're in middle school and high school. You're trying to fit in, so.
I know. I recently just did a presentation where I talk about my vision story, with air quotes, my vision story. I said, that's a nice way to put a very traumatic time in my life, diagnosis and growing up and all that. But yeah, I talked about that. Back then, I grew up in the, I was born in 75. So middle school was in the 80s. And back then you didn't want to be different. You wanted to be like everybody else. Nowadays it's much more accepted to be different and quirky, and everybody has their own individuality, which is awesome. But back then you didn't want to stand out.
No.
And when you're carrying giant large print books and using a monocular and
Did you ever have to use those papers that were twice as big as normal paper?
Oh yeah, absolutely. 2 pieces of paper that they printed off and they were just taped together.
Oh no, yeah. I remember those days. I remember.
Good times. I talk about that too. My books were huge because they were large print, but nowadays kids are lucky, man. They can have all of their books right on one iPad.
On a tablet.
Yeah, just carry it around with them.
Or anything.
Yep.
Or like before it became a thing and CCTVs came out, I used to just take pictures with this really crappy phone that I had, but then later I would blow it up on my computer. It was even before they made really cool Da Vinci's and all this other stuff.
Yeah, they've got it good now. I'm trying to read some of the comments. Vincent Grasso, you guys got to go see Vincent's channel. I did watch one of your videos, Vincent. Good job, man. JC5's in here. JC5 Productions.
Hey, Juan.
Juan, yep.
Check out his channel. He's a filmmaker.
Yeah.
He does really great content.
Visual impairment. Hello, everybody. Blind Gaming Daniel. Okay, so everything blind. Hello, everybody. All right. So let's talk about assistive technology. That's what we're here for. So what do you use? Actually, that's a good question. What do you use in your daily life, AT-wise?
I use my phone a lot for A lot of things. I mean, I have a CCTV, and I actually use that to read books with little Pablo because that way he can see the pictures too. Though he gets mad because I'm like trying to read the words and he wants to see the picture. And sometimes he'll stick his head under the CCTV. It's really funny. But most of the time, honestly, I use my phone. I have a computer with Zoom text. And I mean, I have a lot that I don't necessarily use every day. Like I have a SmartLux digital magnifier. That's like one of the handheld video magnifiers.
Yep,
And
SmartLux by Eschenbach. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. And I even have a butterfly that's by ZoomX.
Oh, yeah.
And
Do they still make those?
I don't know.
Okay.
And the CCTV that I have is a folding one, so it's the Topaz PhD, and I really like that because I can, it's rechargeable, and so I can move it wherever I need to.
I have real quickly. I have in my office, which is my assistive technology room where I do all my demos and stuff. I've got a long table right in the middle, and where we sit and we do our, do our training and all that, and then. Sitting on that table, I've got a Topaz PhD because it's just so easy. Whenever I need to fill out their paperwork, I just pop it up, write it out, and I can fold it back down. If I need to show them the CCTV, I just swing it around. Yeah, I love the folding ones. It seems to be the trend. When I was at ATIA recently, all the CCTVs were compact, folding, rechargeable. It seems to be that's the way they're going nowadays.
Yeah, and at the time that I got that one, it was either that one or the Eschenbach Magna Zip, and it was just it was like another 1,000 or something more. So I was like, oh, let me go with the PhD.
Yeah. Speaking of the Magna Zip, stay tuned to the channel. We might have one of those coming soon to do a video about. Yeah.
I'm so jealous of you, Sam. Like you get all the goodies. Like everybody sends you everything to demo. That's so cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, when you've been doing it as long as I have, you build up that reputation, I guess. Speaking of that, real quick, I want to do a little bit of, I always say a little bit of house cleaning. I mentioned that I'm going to be gone next week. I'm actually going to be in California at the Csun Assistive Technology Conference, CSUN. Yeah. It's in Anaheim. It is the 12th. I'll be there the 12th through the 16th of March. If anybody's out there, you want to come check it out. It's a huge conference for assistive technology, all types of, not just vision, but all types of disabilities. And I'm pretty excited. It's my first time going. So I will be there. You guys come out and check me out. I'm going to be actually working a booth with a company. We are revealing a new phone. That's all I can tell you guys. A new phone. So like I said, if anybody wants to come out and say hi, I would love to meet you. If you are able, you live in that area, come check us out. So then after that, I've got some really cool videos coming out. One is going to be about the Ohio State School for the Blind. I kind of teased that in a previous video. Some just amazing facility. Carrie, did you go to regular public school your whole school life?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I've mentioned it before. I graduated from a school for the blind. I just went there my senior year and I loved it. I thought it was awesome. So I love those facilities. And so I was very honored to get to take a tour and see some cool teaching devices that they have there. That's the main focus of the video. And then I've got some other cool devices coming, including what is today? Saturday. So Tuesday's video is going to be an unboxing of the brand new Iris Vision. And following that is going to be a full video showing off the new features and the new hardware and everything. Really excited about that. So stay tuned for that as well, everybody.
That sounds really fun. I'm sure that I speak for everybody. We're going to look forward to it, Sam. Blind Gaming Daniel says, is it a flip phone? I don't know if you can answer that question.
It is not a flip phone, but it is a phone that is designed solely for the visually impaired. So I can't really give more than that. You guys, I will have a video about it after. It's the U.S. launch is at Csun, so as soon as they launch in the U.S., I will be able to make a video about it.
Oh, let's answer one more question, Sam. What
right.
do you, who says this? I'm gonna butcher this name. Chrysette. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of the Braille Note Touch?
You want to answer that? Do you have any experience with the Braille Note Touch?
No, I was wondering if you did.
I don't, unfortunately. Now, I will say that everybody I talk to loves their Braille Note Touch. I haven't gotten the chance to use it myself. I work more with low vision in my job. I don't work with a lot of people who are Braille users, unfortunately, but I do know a lot of people love it. It's one of those things. It's like they get it and they use it all the time, and then they are very sad when it dies or something.
I used to have one of those type and speak. I like that because I can read Braille, but very, very slowly. And so for me, I used to always use the ones with the QWERTY keyboard for school. Before I actually had a laptop to go to school, I used one of those. And I remember I loved that thing. Did you ever use one?
No, type and speak. No, I've got the app Type and Speak on my phone. It's literally called Type and Speak.
It used to be like there was a Braille and Speak and a Type and Speak. So the Braille one had like these 6 cells for the Braille, and then the Type and Speak had like a QWERTY keyboard. And I don't know what it was based off of, but it had some games. It had a word processor. Like I think it had a calculator.
Oh wow!
And so like for school, it was really good.
Mm-hmm. Does now you said Pablo, your husband, lost his vision only 20 years ago? Was he visually impaired before that and then just lost it all?
No, he was completely sighted. He, drove. He did everything. He used to work. He used to be live in Venezuela, and he used to be like this big IT guy, working in programming. I think, And so so he never. His Braille is actually worse than mine.
That's what I was going to ask, if he knows Braille.
No, he doesn't. He just he prefers everything speech, like JAWS. He's a very big JAWS user, but he also works with NVDA and a little bit with Narrator. Yeah, so.
Okay. We got a big storm going on outside. I don't know if you guys can hear the thunder. My dog's freaking out.
I can't hear any dogs, so it's okay.
Good. Yeah, she's just shaking. She's I think she has Chihuahua in her, so she shakes all the time. She's my seeing eye dog. Not really. Boogie Woogie Barbecue's in here. Dude, you got the coolest name.
I'm sorry. Were you talking to me, Sam?
No, I was saying Boogie Woogie Barbecue's in the room here with us.
Okay.
Okay, come on. She wants to come up. Okay, you guys might see her. Here's Willow. Hi, Willow. Okay, so let's.
Okay.
Someone says, Vincent says he's got an old Aladdin CCTV. We have Aladdins at work. I had an Aladdin when I was in middle school. They are just workhorses, man. They will never die. We've got some in our office, and if I just need to jot something down real quick, I'll just roll over there and use that, because I know I can just turn it on and it will instantly come on. I don't have to wait for it to boot up or anything like that.
That's one good thing about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when they first came out with the color ones. It was like, oh my goodness, how amazing.
Mine was blown.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
What are the ones that are silver called again? I forgot the name of those. Magnavision. Is it Magnavision?
There is a Magnavision, yeah.
They have like the bigger silver. It's just the bottom part, and you have to connect it to a screen.
Yeah. There's that. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's other ones that are like that. Magnavision sounds right to me, though. We'll go with that.
Okay, we had a like recycle program where I worked. So people would donate either their older CCTVs or for $50, like a deposit, they could take a CCTV, like an older one, and take it home for like pretty much they could either keep it or return it and they could get their $50 back. And so it was a lot of fun trying to figure it out, like what plug goes where, because they were a lot older equipment. And then some people said, well, I'm not sure if it still works.
Well, I'm not sure if we still have your $50 then.
Yeah, so that was a lot. I remember doing that, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. We have a loan program too, and so of course I've got to keep track of all that and paperwork, lots of paperwork.
Oh no.
So let's talk about phones. Actually, before we started this live stream, we were talking about the good old tried and true talking watch. I was checking the time, and Carrie started to give me a hard time about my talking watch. I love my talking watch.
No, I have nothing against talking watches. Just remember that I used to work at a low vision center, and they would ship us a whole bunch of talking watches, and we'd have them all out in a display and everything. But they're not all set at the same time. Some of them have alarms, some of them have the hourly chime, and then the time is I'm like, make it stop.
Yeah, we've got ours in a cabinet, and there is one in there that the alarm.
Can you soundproof it? Just kidding.
We don't have the chimes or anything turned on, but there is one that the alarm goes off like the same time every day, and I just ignore it. I don't want to dig through the bin and try and find which one it is.
I know, I understand that. Like at one point, every time something went off, I would jump up no matter what I was doing. I would go run to the clock and try to find which one it was to make it stop. And then there's just a point where it's just like, oh, okay, just keep going. Just ignore it.
Yeah. So I love my talking watch, but I do have a problem with talking watches. And that is that they are all so ugly. Yeah. I appreciate that they try to make them large print. They try to put the giant numbers on there and high contrast and all that. But my vision is to the point where I can't see the face anymore. So I don't use the face at all. I only use the talking part. So can we not make one that just looks a little prettier, or nowadays I really like the men's watches that's just very minimalistic. It just has little dashes for the numbers, Roman numerals or something like that. And just a very simple watch hand, watch or the arms. I just want something simple, but they all are so ugly.
And they're all so big and thick, like at the actual clock face of it. Even I used to have a lot of ladies, and especially when it's an elderly lady, and they're like really pretty skinny, and then you give them a lady's talking watch. It's like, what is this big huge thing on the wrist? And you always tell them that you can take out the links, but even when it fits all right, that thing is just really big on their wrist. And I think part of it is that they have to accommodate for putting the speaker in.
Yeah.
And then I believe that they don't think that they have a wide enough market to have a wider variety. So they would rather just have like I don't know, I guess large print and talking. So yeah, that's something that you could work on, Sam. You could put that in your Amazon shop.
I know.
The blind watch.
I need to get with somebody. I've reached out to different companies. Like, come on, man, just make one simple, nice looking one for me. Have you tried the any kind of smartwatches and the accessibility on Android smartwatches?
I have not tried Android Wear. I've heard that the Apple, what is it called now? The iWatch or Apple Watch?
Apple Watch, yeah.
Yeah, Apple Watch is pretty accessible. It has voiceover. But I actually have a Fitbit, which I need to get back into. But it has no accessibility whatsoever, and I've emailed them and everything, and I just try to, like, I mean, their font size being large is like so little, and they don't have like any more accessibility than that. And for the Samsung, I used to have a Samsung Gear when it first came out, and it had it didn't have talkback or anything, but the letters were a lot bigger. So
yeah, I've got my boss has the Apple Watch, the latest one, and yeah, they're super accessible with voiceover and vibrating.
Does it have Zoom or no?
Yeah, I think. Well, we should ask Derek. Derek has one. Derek sent me a text last night. He said he was jealous that he wasn't going to be part of the live stream today. I said, Derek, I've got to give some live stream love to some other people. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what would be fun, Sam? If you host like a whole blind YouTuber live stream party, and you can have like 12 of us.
Yeah.
Or something.
That won't be chaotic or anything.
No, not at all.
Yeah. But he, like I said, we should ask him. He has one. But I've kind of done some research about the newest version of Android Wear. I think the newest version has Zoom, or it has magnifier, it has talkback. So I want to try and get my hands on one. I've reached out to Motorola. Didn't hear anything back. I've reached out to a couple companies and haven't heard anything yet. So we'll see. I might actually have to break down and buy it myself. Because I'm really interested. I would love to have, because then you could just pick whatever watch face that you want. You know, if I could have my nice minimalistic watch face and still have it talk to me. Let's see.
Well, yeah. With Androids, work with. We've got a lot of comments coming in here.
Okay, Miss Willow, I got to put you down, honey. I got to get close to the TV. There we go.
The primary. I think the Android is. Okay, so somebody I think is asking about Charlie. What is that? Charlie Fam. Do you think I can change to using Android than iPhone, because I don't know how the talkback works with Android? So that's that he's concerned about it. What are your thoughts on that, Sam?
Okay, let's see. If he wants to switch to, I was reading Vincent's comment there about switching to Android, but because he hasn't heard much about TalkBack. Was that what it was? I
think so, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you exactly what you need to do. You need to go on over to Live Accessible. Is the website just liveaccessible.com?
Yeah, it's just liveaccessible.com.
Carrie has done an amazing job of curating all of the VoiceOver 101 and TalkBack 101 videos, correct?
Yes, and that's under technology, and then you can see under TalkBack, under iOS or under Android, the TalkBack or VoiceOver 101. And so I've collected Sam's videos and Derek's videos and my videos, and every time that they upload, hopefully, I can just add it right there.
Yeah, so it's great because it's all in one place, makes it easy to find.
But also, I would say, like, try to find someone who has either an Android device or go to the store and see how it works. But at the same time, like, the thing about TalkBack, I think, is, especially on cheaper models, just imagine, how do I say this? I mean, it's not going to work so well on cheaper models of Android because screen readers, whatever screen reader it is, whether it's voiceover or talkback, they need a lot of processing power and memory. And so it's, the higher end is going to be a better experience. And really, like, I'm using a Pixel with talkback, and you're using what is it, Galaxy S10 or S9?
S8, unfortunately.
Oh, S8. Okay, S8.
No, it's good. It's a good phone.
And so I think that the higher end Android phone that you can get, the better experience you're going to have with TalkBack. But I mean, also, if you already have an iPhone, then you have something that's pretty accessible already. So I think that they're both really good, and it's just about what you're comfortable with more.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, if you have some usable vision and you are wanting to customize the phone to make it easier to see, Android's the way to go because you can do that. You can, you know, change the size of the fonts. Naturally, you know, with the stock Android, you can to a certain level, but then there's apps that will allow you to change it even more. You can put on a custom launcher, which will give you a lot of control over the way the icons look and how big they are and what icons you can use. You know, I've recently done a couple videos on custom icon packs that you can install. So those you would use on third-party launcher. I use Nova Launcher. That's my favorite launcher.
It's the best one.
Yeah. Worth the money to buy the Pro one. But then, you know, or like I said, I always say you can put on a giant clock, you know, on a giant clock widget on your home screen, and or a giant weather widget. You know, you can add these things. That being said, if and this, once again, I always have to preface this by saying this is only my experience, but keep in mind I do train on this stuff all the time. In my experience, voiceover just works a little bit better than talkback. It's a little less frustrating than talkback. In certain areas. Overall, they both work great, but you know, and then as Carrie said, yeah, if you're rocking an old phone from 6 years ago, it's gonna struggle.
Yeah.
You know, if you can get a newer phone with better specs, and everything's just gonna work better.
And also, I mean, Pablo is totally blind, and he has used a Pixel in the past, and he kind of goes back and forth iPhone, and when he gets frustrated at voiceover or an update broke something, he'll go to Pixel, and then when he gets frustrated at that, he'll go back to iPhone, and it's just been a cycle. So they both have their stronger sides and their weaker sides. So I think it's really good that Apple and Android are competing, and it'll only make things better overall for us.
Yeah. So someone asked, what's the primary camera we're using for this video? I am using a little Logitech webcam that I've got sitting on a tripod there. It's supposed to do 1080. I don't know if that's true or not. And then Carrie, what are you using?
I'm just using my Pixel 2 XL, the back camera.
My wife has a Pixel 2 also, and that's a great little phone.
Oh, and one more thing, if you really are interested in an Android phone, I would say go with a Pixel. I know that Sam is very into Samsung and everything, and I used to be that Samsung girl. I mean, I had a Note 4 at that time. I had a Samsung Note 10.1. I have a Samsung tablet. I had a Samsung watch. I had everything Samsung, but I don't know. There's what? I'm sorry. You? Oh, Pablo saying, who convinced you? And so, yeah, Pablo got a Pixel, and he's like, you have to try this out, because, you know, he tried TalkBack on my Samsung, and, you know, while it worked on his Pixel, it's so much faster and smoother.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
do you use primarily magnification on your phone?
I kind of go in between. There are days that I only use magnification, and there's times where Probably because I'm looking at my phone too much. My eyes get really tired, so I turn off the screen and just use dim screen and just use TalkBack.
Okay.
I do want to mention, since we're on that topic, sort of, if you guys do have an Android phone and you turn TalkBack on and off frequently, some apps need to be restarted for TalkBack to really work better with the app, like especially the Facebook app. Like you have to restart the whole app. So that's what I have found.
Yeah, I will agree, and that's one of the things that drives me crazy. That's one of the frustrating things. Is,
yeah.
If I'm in, if I'm in Facebook Messenger, like when we were talking the other night on Facebook Messenger, if I am in, I'm the one. I'm kind of like you. You know, if I need it, I will use the shortcut hardware button shortcut to turn it on and use it then, and then I'll turn it right back off again. So that's what I do. If I'm in Facebook or Messenger, or it used to be an email, although they fixed that. But if I need it to read it to me, I'll turn it on and then just have it read that little thing, and then I'll turn it off and I'll reply. But in Messenger, if you're already in the conversation and you turn on TalkBack, it doesn't work. It just you touch something and it just clicks, click, click, click. So you have to back out and then go back into it, and then it works fine. And it's like, oh, come on, you're killing me, TalkBack.
Yeah. It does that with certain apps, not everything. The YouTube app works pretty well. I think it's more of a Google app. So, you know, everything made specifically by Google works better than other apps, like third-party ones.
Yeah. As I said, Gmail app used to do that, but it doesn't do that anymore. Now it works fine.
Sam sent them an email and they fixed it.
Yeah. Don't you know who I am? Derek's in here. Hello, Derek.
Oh, hey, Derek.
Yeah.
Also, I also use a Bluetooth headset. Do you ever use them, Sam?
Yes, I have one. I just recently got one because for the NLS Bard app, listening to my books, listening to my stories. I hated having sitting on the bus and having a cord coming down, so I got a Bluetooth one, and I love it. Oh
yeah, and which one did you get?
Oh goodness, you put me on the spot. I don't know. It was one that had good reviews on Amazon. I do have a bone conduction Bluetooth headset, but I never use it for some reason.
Huh. Well, I mentioned that because talking about Messenger and, you know, certain notifications and everything, I have a LG Tone, can't remember the model number. I think it's 700, 800, 900, but one of those. I've had the whole line. Whenever it breaks, I get a new one. But it has software that can, like when you have it on, you can specify different apps for it to read out loud, or well, in your ear, the notification. So when somebody messages me on Facebook or something, I can hear that notification and I'll just read it out loud as long as I have the Bluetooth in. So I do like that.
Oh yeah, that's a nice little trick. It always surprises me when people say they remember the model numbers for all the little gadgets they have. Well, this one is the RX 600. It's an improvement over the 599. Like, how do you guys remember all those numbers? That's insane. Let's see. I'm glad you guys are talking here in the comments.
Yeah, Facebook and Messenger is a problem with TalkBack. That's very true, Vincent.
Vincent also says he can't stand his wife's Samsung. Vincent, you're dead to me, Vincent. LG 20, that's a good phone too.
So hippie chick, that's Melissa. Hi, Melissa. So is that? I think that's her. Hippie chick 0413. That might not be her. I'm sorry. That's not your name. She says Samsung bloats all their stuff with extra software. I'm actually getting kind of frustrated with mine.
Yeah. There's apps that you can get that will bypass the system settings and delete the bloatware.
Don't you have to have it rooted though?
No, well, there's one that I found that you didn't need to have it rooted. Traditionally, you do, yeah. But because my wife got an HTC and it was full of bloatware and she wanted to get rid of it, and so I did some research and found out. I don't remember exactly what it's called. I'll try and find out and put it in the description down below. But yeah, that's what I used to do, man. I used to root my phone and put on custom ROMs, and that was my old life on my other channel. I used to love doing that.
I used to do that, but then I was so afraid to brick my phone.
Oh yeah, there's always that little bit of danger, and
this will void your warranty.
Yeah, like this is gonna be it. This is the moment. This is the one that is gonna go wrong. Solar Visions. Ooh, that's a good name. Has a Galaxy S8 Plus and sometimes wonder if I should.
One thing, Charlie, Sam. So talkback is better than voiceover. I think that both are really good. So I mean, I think that you need to. Everybody has their opinion and preference. So just.
Yeah, everybody needs to decide for themselves. I really like some of the gestures in voiceover. I wish talkback would adopt, like the two finger touch to pause and play the voice. I love that because I much like you, Carrie, I think I saw that in one of your videos. I turn off the proximity sensor because every time I look at it with my magnifier, I think like you're doing, it would stop talking. And I'm like, Argh. So I need another way to pause the voice, and they don't give you another way.
No, they don't give you another way. They say to just tap the screen once, but that changes the focus. So
yeah, something else starts talking.
Yeah.
I know.
One thing talking about that, the 2-finger double tap on the iPhone, somebody had mentioned in one of your videos that what is it with voice assistant with Samsung, they have a gesture for that. Is that right, Sam?
For dictation?
No, for stopping media.
Oh.
Stopping and playing.
Somebody asked me that the other day, and I'm not sure if they do or not. I meant to look that up, but I haven't. Somebody,
and I need to make a video on this. Don't steal it, Sam.
Hold on, let me get my pen and paper to write this down.
Is somebody on Facebook. I can't remember who it was, and if you are watching or you are going to watch, thank you for letting me know about this app. But it's called Button Mapper, and so you can map your button. And like right now, I'm using the pressing and holding the volume up button to play and pause my audio. Yeah, so that's a really neat trick. And you can also like set it to different things, like changing it from ring to vibrate or turning certain settings on and off. So it was a really cool app.
Huh. I wonder if you could do like dictation, that's another thing, gesture I love is when voiceover's turned on and you 2-finger double tap on the, when the keyboard's out, it automatically does dictation. I want to find some way to do that on Android because I love that.
Yeah. You should talk to Google. They'll listen to you.
They're going to be, I've actually, there might be some stuff with Google in the near future. Can't go too much into it, but they're going to be there next week. So I need to reconnect. Yeah. And then I've got an app on my Galaxy S8 to remap the Bixby button because Bixby is terrible. Spoiler.
Let's just
everybody.
Put that out there. Yeah.
Bixby is terrible. No, it's all right. It's it's just not for me. But I've remapped it. Yeah, I remapped it to the voice assistant. So if I just long press that, it triggers the listening. But I wonder if I might have to look into that button remap app.
Yeah, you should. It's a really pretty good app. It's not completely accessible with TalkBack, but if you ignore the blink, like when it's not quiet, like you'll swipe to the right and it just goes tick. Just keep swiping, and everything else is pretty accessible. I don't know why there's like empty parts of it, but yeah.
Okay, so somebody just was asking about Galaxy S10. Let's talk about that, Carrie. Have you seen all the hype over the
Oh
S10?
yeah, I have seen all those videos.
Yeah, that looks really cool. What about, have you seen the Galaxy Fold?
I actually am more of a fan of the, gosh, what is it called? Mate X. Huawei Mate X, and how that one folds. Have you seen that one?
No, I might have to look that up.
So I think that it's a little bit smoother than the Galaxy Fold. I think it folds down on the hinge better. And so I think that's pretty interesting. And I kind of like that because, sometimes you want something to put in your pocket. But sometimes you want to have a bigger screen because you want to either magnify something, or sometimes, like for me, I magnify something so much that you only have a tiny bit of the screen on there. So it's having the ability to change that screen size is good.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking when I was watching the little demo video, of that could be very useful for using magnifier with it. Having a nice big, if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, the Galaxy Fold, and I'm assuming the Huawei Mate is the same, but it's basically they took two phones and sandwiched them together, and when you open them up, similar like you're opening up a book, there's a giant screen in between that spans the entire length of the two phones, or the
so
width
it's
of
like
the two
a
phones.
Phone and a tablet.
Yeah.
At the same time, yeah.
And it's really cool. It's on the front. It has a full full screen like a regular phone. So one of the demos they did, which was really cool, they brought up Google Maps, and then as soon as you open up the phone, it instantly pops up on the much larger screen, and you can see much more around you and stuff. And it looked really, really cool. And then everybody was, ooh, ah, and clapping during the presentation. And then at the end, he's like, and it'll be available soon for $19.95 or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody in the crowd
over 2,000. Oh,
yeah. Yes.
That's just way too much.
Yeah.
Way too much. I think $1,000 for a regular phone is too much.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. You're basically buying two phones anyways, stuck together. So yeah, it was.
You could buy a gaming computer for that much money.
Oh yeah, you could buy a really nice computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, someone will buy it though. They'll sell a bunch, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because there's crazy people out there in the world. I'd love to get my hands on it though. I sent them a message. Once again, haven't heard anything back yet. People are saying hi to Derek in the comments here in the chat.
Did you ever get a note, Sam?
Yes, I love the notes, and I would still be using a note if they didn't change the form factor. They went tall and skinny, and I don't like that. Which, I mean, my my S8 is part of that form factor. It's tall and skinny, but I just love the older one. So I had the Note 2, the Note 4, the Note 5. I wanted a Note 7, even though they were all exploding.
I know, me too.
People were like, I was like, that's a good phone. And people were like, but they explode. I'm like, well, not all of them explode. You can actually, you can still get it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the collector one. I was trying to convince Pablo to get me a Note 7, and he's like, no.
Yeah. They rebranded it and brought it back out after they fixed the problems. And I said, you know what? They missed an opportunity. They should have called it like the Note Blaze or something like that,
The Note Blaze.
The Note Fire, just kind of embrace it. Yeah.
Let's just call it the Note Explosion.
Yes. Something like that. That would have been awesome. But the Note 9 is really cool. The Note 10, I'm sure, will be awesome as well.
Now, I was wondering about this because did you like it because of the bigger screen or because of the S Pen?
No, I barely ever used the S Pen. It was all about the screen because, back when I got it, the Note 2, that was the biggest phone out there. I mean, Samsung had the Samsung Mega, I think is what it was called, which was just ridiculous.
It was just a tablet.
Yeah, at the time, yeah. But nobody was making big phones. Everything was so small. And so this Note was big and awesome. And so that's the main reason why I got it. But I barely ever used the S Pen.
Yeah, I mean, when I first got a Note 4, I was so excited about the S Pen. And then every time I went to use it, oh, blah, blah, blah doesn't work with magnifier. Blah, blah, blah doesn't work with voice assistant or talkback. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem with my S8 here. It has all these cool new features. I mean, there's one where the infinity edge here, the wraparound screen on both sides, will do this cool glowing effect when you have a notification or something. But of course, it doesn't work with magnifier.
But why not? That's my question. Why not?
Yeah. I went to turn on magnifier, and there's this huge list of all the things I had to turn off, all the cool things I had to turn off. Come on.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. They hate blind people. That's what it is.
They just didn't take the time to think about the accessibility. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Lazy.
Okay. So, well, quick question, Carrie. What do you see is the future of assistive technology? What can you fathom we will see down the pipeline?
Well, really, I think it's kind of hand in hand with technology in general. I think that the whole world is going so far in technology. And I mean, the world that our kids are going to grow up in is already not the world that we grew up in. And it's just going to keep exploding, the technology. Like, I mean, look, we have this Alexa, I can't say her name, and then the other one, and all of the other ones, and everything is connected now. Everything is smarter. All these companies are trying to come up with reasons for you to connect everything to either your phone or the internet, like the Internet of Things. And I think it's going to make overall things more accessible, especially if we put into place, like I wish they would put more laws in accessibility when they develop all this technology and software, so that to embrace everybody's different abilities and different needs. And I mean, probably in the, I don't know, 20, 30 years, we're going to be, I mean, there won't be Uber anymore, or we'll just have an Uber self-driving car, or maybe even self-driving hover cars. That would be so cool.
That would be awesome.
And then you just say, I want to go over there. And then you just zoom, there you go. And so I think it would be, I'm really excited to see where we're going.
Yeah, my father is I've mentioned this before. He's lives down in Florida, and he's already signed up to do testing the driverless taxis in his city. And so yeah, like you said, just jump in a car and it's always there, and you're the only one in the car, and it just drives you where you want to go. I think that'd be awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, well, I don't know about the Hyperloop, if that's ever going to happen. I think we'll have self-driving cars before that.
Yeah.
But I mean, 20 years ago, what did we have? I mean, we had a little bit of screen reading software. Maybe we just had Braille, and that's, still important, but look at how far we've come. I mean, they're making smart canes. They're making Android and iPhone with voiceover and talkback, and they have like KNFB readers, seeing AI, and so it's only going to get better.
Yeah, I've got an old '90s Kurzweil machine in my office, and the thing is huge. It's maybe like 3 feet long by 2 feet wide and almost a foot thick. And it's this giant, heavy machine, and that was from the mid '90s. And all it does is what KNFB Reader does, or Seeing AI does. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really come a long way. Have you tried any of the wearable devices?
wearable devices, like Sunu Band and
well, no,
all
like
those.
eSight or Iris Vision or
Uh, well, my vision it doesn't work very well with VR or virtual reality. And I can't like I don't know what it is, but I tried like some headsets in Best Buy and everything, and I don't know, like it's so far, like the focal point is so far from my eye that I can't, even with magnification, I just can't focus on it or can't really see it. So I don't think that eSight is going to work, or um, Iris Vision or any of those. So, but I have tried the Geordie, the old Geordie.
the old school Geordie.
Yeah, the old school Geordie, and that didn't work. But I did also have the opportunity to try the Orcam. And that was really neat. It was still in its earlier stages, and I think that it's developed a lot more, especially watching your videos and hearing from other people. I've seen a lot of development and changes in there. So I think that it's, like I said, it's going to continue advancing and changing and just getting better.
Yeah. It's really incredible. As you said, wasn't that long ago that you had a CCTV and that was about it.
Pretty much, yeah.
You had a monocular and that was it.
And a talking watch.
And a talking watch. Some of these things will never die. I was talking to somebody about this recently, and I was saying that there will always be CCTVs because they just fill they fill a specific role, purpose, and you can use them so easily just to read or anything like that. There will always be talking watches, but we need better looking talking watches. That's what we need.
Sam, do you know anything about the Braille digital watch? Did they ever come out with that, or did it just not?
They have a Braille watch called the Dot Watch, where somehow it just has Braille that keeps moving on the face.
Okay,
and it just has the time. I think you can get notifications too. Like it's a smartwatch. It'll connect to your phone, and you can read notifications on your watch.
That's pretty cool.
Dot Watch. They sell it on Amazon. It's like $300 though. It's kind of crazy.
Well, just normal Braille watches cost like from $50 to $100 to $200 to $300 or more. So,
yeesh. Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna see if there's any things we can answer here. Most everybody's just talking to each other. I think that's awesome. Got a conversation going into.
I kept losing my monocular when I remember losing. Me and my sister, we both had monoculars that I think that my parents paid for. If they're watching, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Dad, that I kept losing them.
People are talking about the Kindle tablets. I really like the Kindle tablet. I did my little review of it.
I haven't had much experience. I saw your review, but I haven't had a chance to play with it.
Yeah, when you take into consideration, you take out specs. Of course, it's a $20 or whatever, a $50 tablet. I think it's a 2 megapixel camera. It only does I know. It only does 720p. The processor, I'm sure, isn't that great. But although when I was using it, when I was doing my testing, it was really snappy and quick and responsive. But the accessibility was so good. I was really, really impressed with that.
Have you ever tried the accessibility that they put into the Kindle Paperwhites?
No. I've had people ask me about it. Have you tried it? Is it good? You think?
No. I was just wondering because I heard a lot about it when it first came out, but I didn't have a something to test it on.
Yeah, I don't either. So I'm not sure. Well, let's see. We've been going at this for a while here. It is 10 after 3. I looked at my phone so I wouldn't bother you with my talking watch.
You can press it. It's okay. I'll be okay.
No. It's all right. I guess we should go ahead and wrap it up. Carrie, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for inviting me and having me on here.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely do it again, and we'll let Derek join in on next time, so he's not all upset.
We can have a battle of Android and iPhone.
I know.
You can be the moderator.
That's right. Be the ringmaster. Let's see. So if anybody doesn't know, everybody should know, but if someone doesn't know how to get a hold of you, Carrie, what's the best way?
Well, I'm on YouTube under Live Accessible. You can either just search that in the search bar or go to youtube.com/liveaccessible. And I'm also on Facebook as Live Accessible, Instagram as Live Accessible, Twitter as Live Accessible. And also we have a website, and on that website we have a blog, but we also have a list of resources for people who are blind and visually impaired. And we have a lot of information on technology, Android, iPhone, and soon we're going to be putting a lot more content like on CCTVs and other products basically. And so we're doing a lot of exciting stuff, and I hope you guys join me.
That's incredible. How do you have time to do all that? And you got a 2-year-old.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he helps me.
Does
he shakes the tripod. He types on the keyboard. He moves the mouse. Yeah, that's how he helps me.
There you go. So if there's any typos, it's not Carrie's fault.
Yeah, that was little Pablo putting his little stamp into the art.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. And you got lucky too, because whenever I went to start all my stuff, I couldn't get The Blind Life Facebook, The Blind Life Twitter. It was all taken for some reason, so I had to do the TheBlindLifeSam on everything. Yeah, so YouTube is the only place I'm The Blind Life. Everywhere else is The TheBlindLifeSam.
Well, there's like a website. It's called Name Checker without the E. And so when I was coming up with a name, I typed in like a whole bunch of things there to make sure the name wasn't taken on YouTube or Facebook, all the social networks. So that's what I did.
All right. That's a good tip. Anybody wants to start their own channel, check out the name. I learned the hard way. That's why I had to change mine. Okay. Just looking real quick at the chat here to see if there's anything else. But as always, guys, please feel free to continue the conversation. I think that's awesome. Why is all this stuff so much money? I know, Blind Gaming Daniel. I made a whole video talking about it. Why is assistive technology so expensive?
And you know, there's like a lot of nonprofits do help with that, I've noticed. And a lot of people don't know about that. Is that right, Sam? Have you noticed that?
Yeah. And I mentioned that in the video that there's a lot of services that are available. There's a lot of places like where I work, places where you used to work, and it's just people don't know about it. You know, maybe they're new to the low vision world or what. But there's personal grants you can apply for. There's some of these companies often have giveaways. There's organizations like the American Council of the Blind, the National Federation of the Blind, that have grants available for people that you can fill out. So there are ways to get these things. Exactly.
And a lot of it is just research and reaching out to different organizations and companies. Lions Club also does grants and helps with assistive technology, college scholarships, all that kind of stuff. And so it's not just your state agency, because they're really limited on their budget. So it's really good that there's other organizations out there.
Yeah, yeah. In my particular state, they really cut their funding this past year, which is unfortunate. Yeah, Lions Club is great. They focus a lot on, they'll help with the glasses as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. All
Yep.
right, well, let's go ahead and call it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Sam, don't forget I'm reading. Oh, yeah. Oh, I missed it. Vincent, what's the name? Vincent said he knows the name of the X-Men character. I missed it. Write it down there again, Vincent. Now, let me know.
Well, somebody says that a lot of these places are in the United States, and it's different in Ireland. And I've heard that, internationally, there isn't always as much help. But some of these organizations, aren't they also international, Sam? Or what do you know in way of international services?
That's a very good question, and I mentioned that in my video that I don't know a lot about in other countries, and I just kind of assumed that there were similar services in those countries. Some of the equipment manufacturers are in other countries, like I work a lot with IREAT. You guys have seen me mention them on the channel. They are in I think Colorado, somewhere out there, Montana, one of those states out there in the West. And but they are just a distributor for international companies. So like I did a video about the Lookie 5. That's made by a company in Rehon, which I believe is in Ireland. So you could look into that. Maybe those companies would be giving away some products.
Exactly. And also I have a list that Kyle from Blind Awareness put together on my website. If you go under resources and international resources, maybe one of those, I don't know if there's one for Ireland, but you can always check for that.
Awesome. Do you have a list on there for apps for the visually impaired?
There is a list there, but I'm still working on putting more. So you guys can definitely check that out. But there's a whole bunch that isn't on there. So if you guys do, you can always email me at carrie@liveaccessible.com. It's also on the website if you guys have anything else to add onto any of the lists.
Well, I've got this really big list, Carrie. I'll share it with you, and you can add on there. And yes, Vincent Grosso, he got it, man. Alex Summers is the name of that character, Havoc. Good job, Vincent. You the man. You just earned a bunch of brownie points with me, man. Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys. We're going to go ahead and call it so we don't just sit here all day long. We probably could. I'm sure your son will be waking up soon if he hasn't already.
Oh, yeah. No, he hasn't yet. No, he hasn't. Not yet, thankfully.
Yeah.
He's been really good.
Well, good. I was saying yesterday or the other day, I said, I remember those days when you had to try and get stuff done in that short window in the middle of the day.
And then, you kind of project like, oh, they're going to sleep for 1 or 2 hours. And then especially when they're really young, you're like, oh no, they woke up after 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like today when you plan something for that time, that will be the day that they decide they don't want to sleep.
Exactly. Yeah. That's so true. All right, Sam. Well, thank you so much for having me. And thank you, everybody, for watching and having all those conversations on there, for all your comments and all your support for me and Sam. And we look forward to doing more videos like this. Right, Sam?
Yeah. So go check out the channel, Live Accessible. If you're using a screen reader, it just says Live Accessible every single time.
I'm going to go into each screen reading software and change the dictionary.
I know. Well, it's that, and it's also read and read. It always says. It always mixes those up too. But okay. Well, anyway,
Okay, yeah.
go check out Live Accessible and give her a like, and make sure to subscribe, all of that. Turn on notifications. If you haven't done that already for my channel, of course, I would definitely appreciate that as well. And thank you. And stay tuned. We'll have more with Carrie in the future. Thank you, Carrie.
All right. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, everyone. And see you guys in the next one.
Yep. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.